Good morning, good morning. I wish I could sing. If I could sing, I'd be famous. Hey, do you know when you see a piano in a supermarket or what they call the big halls, or you see them in clubs and places and hotels, don't you just wish you could walk over and play that piano? Don't you wish you could look back on your life and say to your mum and dad, why didn't you teach me how to play a piano? Well, you know what? Go and learn how to play the piano. Stop blaming your parents. Get yourself off. Learn how to play the piano. Nah, that's too difficult. It's too challenging. It's too much. I can never do it. That's what most of us do in life. Blame and never take responsibility and never take action. Anyway, guys, today's a great day to take action. Where's all that come from? What? Must be the coffee. How are you doing, guys? Welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. It's a beautiful day. Oh, can't speak, can I? It's a beautiful day today. Very, very interesting day yesterday with spotting some fakes on my website. Yeah, it was a positive. I'm so happy that, we're going through them, and so far now everything seems brilliant. So we didn't do a bad job, really. 3,450 crystals on markbajerski.com. 16 years in the making, and only one has been a fake. Not too bad on statistics. Phew. Yeah. It's a great day today. You know what? What's been really, really interesting? I have had a massive amount of messages coming in from maybe 3 weeks, about 3 weeks, yeah, about 21 days up till now. And it's getting really interesting. And I'm really starting to have a real thought about there may be some truth in what Don Tolman talks about in the age of Aquarius coming up, because it seems to be, well, the pieces are coming together. This is really happening. And what's today's video about? Well, all to do with this, the awakening of mankind. What does that mean, Matt? What's the awakening of mankind? We're always awakening. Everybody says this year's going to be the year. Yeah, you're right. People do it, and they have been saying that. But I go on what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing, and what I'm hearing. So what's happening at the moment? So many people are claiming to see things that they've never seen before. A lot of people are claiming to have this awareness that is starting to happen. And I'm going, welcome to my world. Good for you. And it's great because one of the most beautiful things happened to me a few days ago, and I haven't told you guys, but it's just, for me, it's just amazing, right? It's kind of like moment. So a member of my family rang up and told me that they opened a bedroom door and thought they saw somebody in there, and they realized it wasn't, and it was an apparition. I call spirit trapped in between two worlds, and they asked me what they could do. Now, to me, 16 years in the waiting for validation that I know I don't need it validating to me, but for them, for anybody, I mean, this is the bottom line, right? You can't make anybody believe what you believe, okay? It's impossible. You can try and tell your family what you want if you've seen spirit, like I've worked with so many spirits that like people think I'm just crazy. And I've met spirits of so many different types. And these spirits we call spirit trapped in between two worlds. I've not only met them, but they've been inside me, right? Now, you imagine saying this to somebody who's never experienced that, because all they've ever done is eaten, drink, sleep, work, pay my mortgage, my holiday's coming soon. They've no understanding of the world that we live in, because they're trapped in a world that The system makes them trapped. The system doesn't want you to think out of the box. It wants you to stay in this, pay my mortgage, pay the bills, what's going to happen if I can't afford to pay my bills? And that is the manipulation of why most people are living in denial, of fear, of worry, of what if. So I broke away from that 16 years ago, and just out of the urge to not want to be in this depressive world. And what I mean by depressive world is that if you just take the UK, for instance, there is approximately between 60 and 80% of people in the UK suffer from depression. That depression, dear friends, isn't because you're depressed. It's because the system has created that depression through everything that you see in the media, all the fear that it pumps into you. It's a deliberate manipulation to keep you in that bubble of fear, so you shake and you worry and you don't do anything because you've been told that everything is bad, everything is dangerous, everything is, and it's all lies. It's all lies. It's deliberately made so you don't get up out of your bed and take control of your life and do things for yourself. So I got the TV and basically threw it out of the window and smashed it up 16 years ago. That's what I did. And from that moment on, I was free. I liberated myself. I became my own television. I became my own media. I became my own truth, my own facts. That's why I never look at mainstream media. And if I do, I just laugh, because all you need to do with mainstream media news is turn it the opposite way around. So whatever they're saying, like at the moment, France is up and they're all fighting and they're all burning down everything. Turn it around. France is actually holding hands together and joining against the system in peace and creating fear to the system. So the system turns it around and takes a few pictures of people who may have burnt, whether it's them or whether it's their own people who have burnt it deliberately to place that. So you start to realize, wow, you break free from the lies and the manipulation of the system that pulls you into the fear to make you believe that France is bad and the French are bad and look what they're doing against the system. They're all nasty. And so many sheeple believe it. They just believe it. Where actually I have friends in France, and I have many, many, many friends who tell me that what's going on in France at the moment, they're joining hands, they're becoming strong, and they are conquering the darkness of the system. But you see, mainstream media changes that. So I'm going off on one, but I'm just trying to explain to you, when you break free from the mainstream thinking or brainwashing, you start to become your own power. And there's a reason why you need to step out of that. You need to throw the TV away. The reason why is because once the TV is gone, your distraction is no longer on fear. And that's where I got my epiphany, my download, my understanding that there's more to life. And that's when I started to see beyond the beyond. So 16 years ago, I started walking a path of thinking, what the hell is this? Trying to unlearn, unbrainwash myself from what I was taught, to actually having an open mind and seeing things. So today, 16 years on, after being a healer and going into thousands of properties, clearing out negative energies, clearing out spirit trapped in between two worlds, witnessing some amazing phenomena, I got a message saying this, and I sat and we FaceTimed each other, and I said, welcome to my world. And whatever they were explaining to me, I said, yeah, and I was explaining how it all works and why this happens. Well, that was a beautiful moment for me. Not a moment that I've ever wanted, but a moment that I was so pleased that now that my family is starting to understand that there may be some truth to all of this Marx BS, what he used to say and we didn't believe. But all of a sudden now that we're starting to, there may be some truth in it. Why? It's because you've experienced it. And I believe that this year, more and more people are going to experience these mystical moments, these moments where we just get this glimpse of there is more to life than what we realize. My messages are coming in faster than I've ever seen in my life, meaning that people are telling me, Mark, Things are happening in my house. I'm seeing things. My friends are telling me about all of these things. And I literally am getting hundreds of messages a week about seeing spirit. So I'm going to give you a little breakdown, a little bit of help with this. But before I do, I want to tell you something. I became very hated in the Costa del Sol very soon after starting to work in the spiritual world. So basically I was a nobody. I came from nowhere, and all of a sudden now people were saying, Mark Bajerski is doing this and it's worked. So, good news spreads really fast, right? I didn't advertise, I didn't speak about my work. I just said nice things on social media, nice, kind things, as I do every day. All I want to do is make people feel better, right? From the depression that the mainstream media makes us feel depressed. So I try and counteract that every day, and I have done. If you look on my social media account, all you need to do, you can't lie on social media. You can't lie. All these people like Donald Trump and all the people that claim to say nasty, you can't lie. All you need to do is scroll back and see the lies and the manipulation. So all you need to do is scroll back for 12 years on my account, and all you'll see is a consistent Mark Bajerski sharing loving, positive messages. As of late, I've been more pushing the truth movement. Okay, that's true. The past 5 years, I've been really pushing the truth movement because I believe that up till this moment, we are now really awakening. So, but in general, you'll always see every day, nearly every day, maybe a day if I was poorly or something, or traveling on the aeroplane to Bali or somewhere, then I wouldn't be able, but normally I do. But every day, you just need to look. I've posted a positive message to keep us all going. The messages of me, for me as well as for you, okay? So, as I'm working 16 years ago in this field of work, really having fun, really enjoying myself, really coming home saying, you'll never guess what's just happened, right? Biggest smile on my face, the new life, new lease of amazement, magic that I've never felt in my life. It's like every day. Well, it was becoming very evident that the people in what's called the so-called spiritual world, to me, are the most unspiritual people in the world. That's the truth. There's so much ego, so much anger, so much jealousy, and so much fear in the world they call spiritual world that I soon realized that, my God, I have spent 38 years of my life working in every industry you can think of. I now step into the industry is in what we would call the most loving and kind and caring industry, which is the spiritual industry, because it is now. It's all taken over, it's hijacked. And I was finding people were nasty, bitter, abusive. The last circle I went to, the last circle I went to, I was invited to, and it was a group of mediums. The lady who asked me there apologized to me 3 days later and said, I have never seen such hatred towards a living person in my life, Mark. I am ashamed of these people that I invited round, and I am so sorry for how they treated you. And I said, it's okay, it's fine. I'm used to it now. And you know what? You know why that is? Because people were saying nice things, and because they weren't recognized. So let me explain something to you. I started to work with shamans. I mean real shamans, not jokers, not if you go to Peru now, everybody's a shaman because they realize that's the only way they can make money. I'm talking about shamans who have worked all their life as a child from 4 years old to become the shaman that they are. I work with people who, very few, but who are the real ones, the ones normally who don't really say anything, who don't advertise, who don't talk about the work, the real ones that I was being attracted to. And yes, there were some very nasty ones and there were some lovely ones, but I was learning all of these things, and then I decided to work on my own, to feel my own way instead of just copying everybody. So I was going into houses, I was reading people's futures, I was tuning into people's energy and learning through my own clients and through my own practices, through my mistakes, through everything that I was learning, because I had to learn and experience it. So I was going to hundreds of homes monthly. That was my job full time, not part time, full time. And I got to a point when I turned around and looked, and I realized that there was so much anger and jealousy because these people who claimed to be spiritual were saying that basically I was taking their business. It's ridiculous. You own nobody. Nobody is your client. You don't own nobody. People have a free will and choice to go to who they want. And I would never, ever tell anybody to come back to me and don't go to somebody else. That's the same principle as being a hairdresser. The one thing I taught, because you probably don't know this, but I had a hairdressing salon. I had 8 staff working for me. And my rule of thumb back then, and I wasn't spiritual, but my rule of thumb was if you come and work here, you do not nitpick anybody else's haircut. Because there's nothing worse than going, hello love, how you, oh my God, Tracy, look at this haircut she's been, look how bad that is, look at that, oh, I wouldn't go there love, what a bad haircut. You never nitpick, you never pull anybody else's work down. And that's my rule of thumb about life. Stop gossiping, stop saying nasty things. And you might think, well, why are you saying this? You're gossiping now. No, I'm not. I'm telling you the truth of what actually happened along my journey to why I was hated so much. Okay, so here I am going into houses, cleansing the house of what they believed was spirit trapped in between two worlds. Some really weird situations where mirrors would smash instantly on a night, so they would get new mirrors all the time and they'd put them in the house, but they'd all smash. Circumstances where you think, wow, it smells so bad in one corner, we don't know why, and we can hear music, or the tap keeps coming on and off, or why is this happening and that happening, or I'm feeling somebody's pushing me from here, or I feel like I'm being hurt by spirits. So many different reasons that Mark was going into houses and getting excited, saying, oh, I don't know, but let's see what happens. What I realized is that when I first began, I was using sage like the shamans and other people were sharing, but it wasn't fully working. So they'd said to me at the beginning, it's still here. And I'd go, okay, so what I tried to do is understand. And this is the truth. I've never shared this with anybody, but I sat down in the center of a room in this lovely lady's house, and I put 4 crystals, which were, they looked like pyramids, and they were rose quartz. I put them into the 4 corners of one room and sat down and asked her to leave the home. And I needed to feel what was wrong and why I wasn't able to do this and why spirit wasn't leaving. And as I closed my eyes, I can recall it now so clearly. I got the sage stick, because I was using sage sticks because that's all they were, and that's all I had and didn't know anything else. So I got this sage stick and I've got it in my hand, and the sage is blowing into my face. But what I saw was the whole of the room filled with sage, and I instantly thought, wow, could it be that there's not enough sage smoke? So that day, 16 years ago, I took the sage from the stick, I crushed it down into these. So the sage stick instantly became this. I got 4 sage sticks and crushed it down and put it into a bowl, okay? And then I got a stick and I lit the sage. And at first it was a struggle to light. In fact, it was a real struggle to light, but I persisted. I persisted and thought, no, just keep going. And this is exactly what I did in this home. And one of the things that I found is the harder it is to burn the sage, the more beautiful the energy is in the home. If it's easy to burn the sage, really easy, and if the sage sets on fire at any time, it means that there is a lot of negativity in the home, which then tells me, and which should tell you, if you just think about it, and it's logical, that if sage and the flame is going woof, that means that the energy of negativity burns much stronger, okay? Keep trying. This is what it takes. Patience. Always use a stick at the end. Always have an extension so you don't burn yourself. No point using a little lighter. It doesn't work. It'll just hurt your hand and you might burn yourself. It's a good sign. Gone out again. It's a good sign. It's a good sign. I had Cecilia here doing some work on the singing bowls, so the energy in here is amazing. So it's going to be harder to light. This is where people give up and stop. Oh, it's not working. Just keep at it. Anyway, it's not lighting. It's a good sign. But as you can see, you keep blowing and then eventually it's going to really burn into the hard cinders and it's going to glow and you're going to blow and you're going to blow and you're going to blow. So I'm sat in this room and I'm blowing and eventually it's like burning and burning and burning and then woof, flames everywhere and I'm blowing and blowing. Anyway, I did the whole of the house and I was thinking to myself all the time and I was getting a download of thoughts and feelings. Going to the bedroom, going to the cupboard, going to the toilet, is there another floor downstairs? Is there an attic? Can I get up there? And I did the whole of this house, literally the whole of the house, and I flooded all the rooms with smoke. And I mean, not just a little bit of smoke. My eyes were dripping. I was thinking of sage, and most people will tell you in the village, they think I'm a pot smoker because I smell of sage most weeks because I always sage. When I'd finished, I left that house. I got a message back the following day saying, Mark, I haven't felt anything. The following day, Mark, that house is lovely. Mark, that following, 7 days later, nothing. She felt nothing from the house. It had all gone. Right, well, there must be some truth in this then. This must work. So I went to the next house. In fact, it wasn't the next house. It wasn't a next house. It was an Indian restaurant, okay? So here I go again, start again. In Marbella, Indian restaurant, not doing well. They're very upset with business. But okay, there's something wrong. We don't know what it is, but people are seeing things and feeling things. Okay, don't say out. Let me just do it. Light it again, blow, go into the kitchen, the flames just went everywhere. In fact, I nearly burnt my face because as I was blowing in the bowl, it set on fire and I went, whoa! And then I realized that where the entity or the bad energy is, the sage will blow up almost, okay? So I did the whole of that place. The following week, they said business has never been better. And all of a sudden, I'm going to all these houses. I've got a way that I instinctively felt was right. And I was following that. I was following my truth. And the only reason why I was following it is because I was listening to feedback. So here's the thing. From doing something from a good heart and listening and following your own truth, which was working for me, it ended up that I was being hated. And do you know why I was being hated? I was sat with a group of people who said they wanted to talk to me one day. There was about 7 people. And they said, Mark, you're being attacked by the spiritual world in the Costa del Sol. And not just the Costa del Sol, but in the mountains as well. Where they all live all over the place, Alarin, Coin, all over the place. They were hating me. And it was even going to the UK, people who lived in the UK who came here, they were all hating me. And I'm sat there like feeling really, really bad, saying I haven't done anything. I don't even know these people. And they were saying, yes, the problem is, Mark, that these people rely on their clients. So what they were doing is they keep going back and saying, oh, you need me to do this, and oh, this is going to take a long time, and maybe it could take months, and we keep doing it and we keep doing it, and that was creating clients, and that was giving them enough money to live. And I'm saying, but that's not what we do it for. We don't do it for clients and to live. I don't understand what this field of work is, spiritually speaking. What's wrong with these people? And I even fell out with 2 of my so-called teachers who were sending me messages saying to me, what do you think you're doing? Doing a circle night on a Wednesday. Wednesday is my circle night. You're taking my clients. And I'm saying, what are you talking about? What? And I'm panicking, saying they're nobody's clients. I'm just inviting people to come. And I realised very soon that, Mark, you're going to have to stay away from these people. These people are in a bad place. They're not really practicing spirituality. It's more of a business and that fear. And this is not what I want to be part of. So yeah, I'm going off on a tangent, but I'm telling you why Mark is a loner. Mark doesn't connect with many people because I don't get the mentality of what is meant to be spirituality. And that's why I say to you, it's being hijacked. In fact, I want to take the word spirituality off my website, off everything that I say, because it's no longer meaningful anymore. It really isn't. So going back to clearing spirit from homes, and that more and more people are saying to me, how do I help clear spirit from my home? Well, it's really, really simple. If you do it correctly, like with the bowl of sage, any sage, wherever sage is sage, no matter what country it's from. Mine is from the Alpujarras. I sell it on my website, but you can buy it anywhere. And a nice bowl you can buy anywhere, nice thick wood bowl. Set it on fire and start from one end of the room and really smoke those rooms out. And do not miss any room. And the reason why is because spirit trapped in between 2 worlds does not like smoke. So even spirit trapped in between 2 worlds still has, for some reason, a reaction, and it's a negative allergic reaction to sage smoke. And many people have asked me, where has spirit gone after there? I don't know. And I'm not going to lie if I don't know. I don't know. But what I can tell you through my experience is if you have any negative energy, if you have any apparitions, spirit trapped in between 2 worlds, whatever it is, if you sage that home correctly, by going round the whole of the home and blasting it out, filled with smoke, every single room, every cupboard, every corner, right down to the floor, make sure the smoke is everywhere. My experiences is I've never had to go back to a house to repeat that ever again. And that's why I share the truth on sage smoke and why a lot of people when they sage a home, sometimes don't do it correctly in the way that I believe is necessary to clear the whole of that house out. And it makes sense. If the truth is that smoke really is the reason why it clears the house, then why wouldn't you use tons of smoke? At least you're doing a good job, right? So that's how I know. So this video is for everybody, because not only is it for clearing spirit from a house, but it clears all of the past, and I mean it, it clears all of the past negativity, worries, fears, heartbreak, fighting, arguing, splitting up, pain and suffering of losing a loved one. All of that energy which comes out of you at any given moment, just like when you go to a home, or like where I used to go to these spiritual circles and there was anger and bitterness and hatred towards me, and I could feel it. Well, that attaches to the wall. If you're feeling bad because you watch mainstream media and you see the fear and the lies given to you, that kicks out of you and attaches to the house. So whenever you come home, you don't even want to go home. And I'm writing a book called, well, it's basically the journey of a psychic healer. And basically, I'm giving proof, almost scientific proof, that when you sage a house, even animals come back into that house that would never come back after 2 or 3 years. And I've got so many stories to say that saging really is the number one jet wash for clearing away any bad negative energies in the house. Once you've cleared all that away, that doesn't mean that you're not going to then create more. Because from day to day, even yesterday, I knee-jerked and said some things that I shouldn't have said and felt bad. And yes, it's all okay now. But in those moments of fear and worry, I created negative energy in certain rooms. So I needed to yesterday cleanse myself and cleanse the room. So you have to continue. It's a work in progress. Whenever you feel bad, cleanse yourself and ask yourself why you felt bad. And then when you ask yourself why you felt bad, then you normally should be looking at how you can stop feeling bad because of that reaction. And that's what you need to work on. So we are an ongoing progress, and we have good days, we have bad days. We have sad days, we have happy days, we have depressed days, we have knee-jerk days. We have days where we really, really don't want to be in this world. We want to go home. And then there's days that we couldn't even think of a more beautiful reason why we're here, and because we're living, because certain beautiful things happen. And then we have just normal days, okay? So life is about looking after yourself. Life is about taking care of yourself. Life is about clearing away the negative thoughts and feelings, and sage does that. So as you're cleansing your home, you're actually cleansing yourself too. So you give yourself a jet wash at the same time. It is the most important thing that I believe keeps me in a sane state of mind in an insane world out there. And I think that's my message today. I want to say one thing. 2020 is going to be the most interesting year of our lives, and we are lucky to be in this world right now. If you're alive right now, there is going to be some amazing shifts and changes. Humanity is going to get up off their knees and join hands and realize that together, the normal person like you and me can change this world against the tyranny and the absolute evilness that is in control of the system that we have to live in. But the first thing we can do is throw away the TV. Take your focus away from politics. Take your focus away from government. Take your focus away from what we believe and are told are the leaders, which we vote in, which is not true. We have to be our own leader. We have to be our own voice. We have to be our own power. And by doing that, we come together as oneness, as the universal message is telling us to now. We are awakening. We are seeing more. We are becoming more powerful. We are awakening. And this is why it's such a beautiful, beautiful time to be living. This is the most amazing time. Even though we are going to see chaos, from chaos comes truth and beauty and power and love. And I know it. So yes, there are many people going to be falling on their knees. We're going to see more and more lies coming to the surface. We're going to see all the people that we believed in are all lies. All the badness, it needs to be shown so the world awakens. We all awaken together and say no more. And that's the rejection of the system and of evil. And we will see evil. We will be given that opportunity to see evil. And you have to see evil to be able to change it, to get rid of it, and then to be able to grow, and mankind then change to a new shift, a new energy, a new awareness. And thus we will then have no more people on the streets wishing that, they had a home, because we will look after our fellow brothers and sisters and not feed corporations, companies, pharmaceutical, all the bad industries that try and suppress and kill us daily. And we will raise the vibration. And 2020 is that year that will bring forward truthers. It will enlighten the unlightened. It will help us become awake and aware. And we will have a universal understanding that we can all say, yeah, it's true. And I think that's what's happening now. And therefore, my belief is at this moment, we are getting to see glimpses of what we've never seen before. Whether that's apparitions of, oh my God, or whether it's real awakening of things that we've never seen before, and all the pieces are coming together, the awakening. It doesn't matter. In any field of work that we work in any situation, given situation, whatever happens to awaken us to our understanding that we and we alone have to take responsibility of what we're seeing, and we alone are our teachers, and we've got to make sense of what's happening, like I did 16 years ago, to actually embrace it and say, okay, I now know what the truth is. And yes, I have helped thousands of people from being people who have just eaten, drink, sleep and work, to understanding that there's more to life, and wow, this is an amazing world, to now many people are experiencing, feeling and connecting to this oneness, this great energy that is a download to help us see and to be able to get rid of the darkness. The tables have turned. The scales have tipped. 2020 is indeed the year of the enlightened. And you, my friend, are watching this, and you are enlightened. You are a truther. You are somebody who is changing the world every day by your truth, your awareness, and your knowledge. Share it with the whole world, and I will share your knowledge. Write a message underneath here, guys, and tell me how you're changing the world today. Because you know what? Without you, the world will be a darker place. And I love you for being the soul that you are. Kind, caring, loving, sharing. Thank you for making a difference. Thank you for helping. And don't let the darkness pull you down. Rise above it now, because this is the year that we rise above the darkness. Have a great day, guys, from my heart to yours. Take care.